perfect day in the Caribous. Certainly one thrill is to go into areas that are only accessible by helicopter.
Heli-skiing and powder-skiing was everybody's dream, to be able to do something like that.
Nothing beats an uncut slope and making perfect eights or just skiing it by yourself.
It's the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Powder skiing, well, I guess the best way to describe it is as having fun. It's the ultimate in skiing. Ask anybody who's ever tried it.
When Mike started in 1970, he got all of his stuff together and opened for business. And he had no clients.
We didn't have anything. And I never thought that he would succeed. But what I've learned from Mike is no matter what happens, is not to give up.
Good morning, pilots and guides. Here's your weather report.
Mike didn't just fall into this. He thought hard about it, about what he was going to do. It might be a European thing even, because in Europe, when a man builds a home, he doesn't build it for himself, he builds it for himself and his children and his grandchildren. They build to last.
Mike tells stories about when he was young and growing up in very rural southern Austria. And he was really into skiing, and he hated that every time the ski hill would get really good, it would rain. So when he turned about 17, he was a ski instructor and a ski racer and decided, I've got to go to Canada where it snows a lot. When he got there, he didn't realize it, but he was in Ontario. And he did a winter there and went, I've done something wrong. This isn't the Canada that I expected. So he went down to the States and taught down in California for a while, and then came back to Banff and went, this is more like it. He took over the ski school at Lake Louise.
I was really blessed and fortunate as a young man to have Mike Wiegele as one of my coaches. He's just instilled a love for the mountains and a passion, and one of his sayings is, let's go skiing. And really that started as young ski racers for us and really built through our lifetime.
I remember him skiing down Larch Palma at Lake Louise and seeing his little ski school shack there. I said, there's Mike Wiegele. I'm going to work for him one day.
It really was sports that brought us together. I knew I wanted to ski. He was the best link to skiing. He had the ski school at Lake Louise for the first year, and he wasn't impressed because I couldn't ski. It wasn't love at first sight. It was just another good-looking guy in your life when you're young. Well, he's pretty good looking, and maybe I can learn to ski. And here we are 51 years later. He always was sort of a dreamer. He wanted to go into the mountains and ski, and that was his dream.
he started exploring the mountains around British Columbia, looking for a place to call his own.
The river. It was in the middle of nowhere, the end of nowhere. It was a railroad town because the trains changed here. But when we first came here, it was just this place out of nowhere where Mike wanted to ski.
The area here is world-renowned for snow, especially Blue River, and I'd been through Blue River many times. And I looked around and went, wow, there's a lot of good skiing to be had here. Mike chose his terrain brilliantly. There's 3 big snow belts that go across British Columbia. And the biggest one, Blue River, is right in the center of it.
I'm a little biased, but it's the best skiing in the world. I mean, you can't explain it to you. Up there and skiing it, and breathing it, and smelling it. He saw the potential that I'm going to bring people to these mountains and share the mountains with them.
I thought he was a little bit cuckoo. He and Hans Moser, when they were hiking together through all these mountains with Jim McConkie, decided that a faster way would be a helicopter. And he decided in his mind that he would have the top resort for skiing. It was sort of his dream then. He hadn't really started it. We were back in Banff without any money. Michelle was born. We have a baby. We need a business. So then I opened a ski shop.
I was skiing in Lake Louise, Alberta. I went into a ski shop. Turned out it was Mike and Bonnie Wiegele's. On the wall there was a little notice. It said, "If you would like to helicopter ski." I'm not sure the spelling was right, but sign here. And I see this piece of paper and there are all these empty lines. There's not a single signature. I said, "Come on, Mike, I'll sign up." So I was his first customer.
Well, I came here when Mike was operating out of a little hotel. Years ago, I was climbing up the mountains to jump on a helicopter. I mean, my God.
I never thought that people would start coming. Somehow we made it through. It's really his determination. He just didn't quit.
This is it. This is the big time, the Get It On all-time ski lift. 3,000 square miles of untracked powder snow, and it's all yours.
Mike invited Warren up in the 70s. It benefited both. Warren got fantastic ski footage. Mike got some great exposure.
In this 3,000 square mile Mike Wiegele Caribou Resort midway between Calgary and Vancouver, British Columbia is some of the best skiing in the world. it's no fun at all.
Hey everyone, I'm Ken Chilovak and welcome to the Caribou Mountains, not too far from Blue River, British Columbia. This is the site of the DuPont Cordura Powder-8 Skiing Championship.
Mike came up with this concept of the World Powder-8 Championships, where they had teams from all over the world come to represent their own country. We won that event in 1984.
You're the defending champions, you guys. The pressure, a lot of it.
Oh man, I just about threw up on top there. I was so nervous.
Actually, we went on to win it 3 times.
Powder-8 World Champions, win in Vancouver.
It exposed heli-skiing to more skiers around the world. Back in the day, we were all skiing the traditional 200 centimeter GS skis. This was 1984. This was before fat skis were ever introduced.
Mike was an innovator. He worked with Atomic early on, and they designed the first powder ski per se.
There's been a long time ago when we had this idea to try to make skis that perform like snowboards in the water.
First time I saw the fat skis, these guys get off the bus and they unload these skis and they pull out the original Fat Boy skis.
We all scoffed at them. We're on our narrow skis, whatever we were on. We laughed at them. Oh, those are water skis. Oh, we'll never ski on those macho young guys.
They came with a team of testers to test them. They went out skiing the first day, and the guide came back, and we were all, so how'd they do? And the guide goes, actually, those guys must be really good, because they made even those things ski well. It wasn't until a while later that I realized that, wait a minute, I'd be a way better skier too if I was on those skis. It just took me 2.5 years for that to sink in.
Dropping in 10.
Good morning, guides and pilots. Here's your weather for January 26, 2019.
Each morning, Mike Wiegele and his guides meet to discuss the weather and the avalanche danger.
They're forecasting sunny skies all of today and going into tomorrow.
The freezing level is currently at the surface, but the dew point spread of 0.
In the late 80s, heli-skiing was starting to boom. There weren't very many fully qualified guides around. So a group of about 8 operators got together and said, we need to start our own guide training and certification system. And Mike said, okay, I'll take that on. And now nearly half the heli-ski guides in the world come out of the Canadian Ski Guide program.
He's an industry leader in safety, and that's why I'm here, and that's why this lodge is full of 100 people this week.
Back in the late 80s, snowboarding was starting to become really popular, and nobody really wanted snowboarders. But Mike said, we should take them. We should give it a try.
Dropping.
Mike is a visionary, and I don't think Mike's forgotten a thing that's ever happened in his life.
To begin with, I loved skiing any day of the year. And still today, it still hasn't changed. I figured sooner or later I will get old and give up, but it just inspires me more when I look at some of the pictures, because I know how I got there. My parents didn't have any money to buy me skis, so I must have been younger. I must have been 14 years old. We were behind the farm that you see here. There's a meadow. And there was a single ash tree about that size. One day, suddenly he says, "Well, go and get it." I ran down and got my brother and said, "The tree is ours, let's go and get it." We cut the tree down, got the horse with the buggy and took it right to the carpenter maker. It took a whole winter until I was able to ski. And nobody in the valley had skis like I had. It's bringing back memories.
It was our religion, skiing.
His vision has always been families are what will make this business a lifelong thing. Mike has always been a coach and mentor to young people. He believes in grassroots programs.
It's just his love for the sport, developing young, smart guides to carry his legacy into the future.
His plans, energy, and passion aren't slowing down in any way.
He still doesn't want to give up. He's still trying to develop areas for skiing.
I mean, who would have thunk it 50 years ago? I'm sure people looked at him sideways.
People called him crazy then, and people call him crazy now. And still to this day, he comes up with new plans and everybody goes, "Oh, that's crazy. That'll never work." I gave up saying that years ago.